All right, welcome to week number 7. We are uh, working our way through this. These two chapters actually complete the first half of the course, and there's actually a lab only for chapter 11 and not for chapter 12. So, might give you some less stuff to do this week, which is never a bad thing. And next week we begin the next section of the course. And as always, if you're going further ahead, there is nothing wrong with that. If you're going at the speed that we're going, cool. Anywho, this is chapter 11, covering the update manager. Um, just like anything else that's IT related, you do not set and forget it. You have to maintain it. You have to update it. Because if you realize anything about the world of IT, it is always a cat and mouse game between the bad people, the security folks, and everyone else. So just like an operating system, and just like everything else that we use and support, we have to update VMware. They release updates all the time to all their products, to all the services, and we have the update manager to help keep us and our systems up to date. This thing is specifically built for vSphere, so it handles natively updating the different areas of the infrastructure. You can configure this to do it automatic or schedule it at a certain time. You can make baselines. It'll help with scanning and remediation without having to add something new into the infrastructure. It's there. Of course, it has to be able to connect to vCenter and out to the internet. It'll have its database. You could use Oracle or Microsoft SQL Server or the one that's built in to the latest version of vCenter. Either way, you could use any of those databases to maintain updates. A lot of this is already built in. It's just how you configure it. Oops, forgot to set streamer mode in Discord so we don't hear all the little beeps. Update manager, of course, has to have the right privileges in order to handle its job. Here are some of them that you need to enable, like network connectivity, the download settings, the schedule, the VM settings, and host settings. Because like I said, a lot of this can be done automatically, which is great. You can create baselines, and they're not your typical baseline. This is the performance that we expect, and let's find some anomalies. It's more of kind of like a service pack for Windows. So we can say what is the host critical dynamic patch, or what is non-critical. We can separate our updates into different groups. When are we going to update VMware versus the ESXi or the virtual appliance? We can group these together into different baselines if needed as well. You can use the new baseline wizard to create these. It could be fixed, they could be dynamic, built for a host or a specific patch or extension, depending on your infrastructure and how it's set up and how critical it is to keep things up. Because it could be that your infrastructure doesn't have to be up all the time, every day, every hour. So you can have some downtime. You can build a baseline that way. You can attach baselines in the update manager. You'll have attached baseline. You can scan for updates at the scan for updates button. And that'll look for any patches, any extensions, and upgrades. Once that happens, then you can review the information and decide what needs to get installed and what can wait, again, depending on your infrastructure. Once you see things that need to get updated, you can either do it immediately or schedule it later. You can specify which hosts will get updated first and which will get updated second in a sequence. If it's an update to a host in the cluster, then we know that the host has to go into maintenance mode. So HA and any other disaster recovery systems will take place to be able to shut down one host at a time, update it, bring it back online, bring down the next, and so on and so forth. That way the services remain on all the time. When it gets the patch recall notification, it can do one of three things. It can generate a notification for you. It could be flagged as already done, or delete the patch binary from its local repository. Any patches that need to get recalled to ESXi are not uninstalled until there's a new patch to take place. The agent manager can be used as well. It baselines your ESXi clusters automatically and lets you know when they are not compliant. They can also handle remediation for you. The great thing about all this is that you can turn this all automatic and not have to worry about a thing, except when things don't work. vSAN, because it is software-based, will have updates, and that is part of the update manager. So if there is an update to the vSAN infrastructure, you can get an update for that too. So like I said, your system baseline ensures that your cluster is compliant. It has all the updates necessary, and it'll keep track and let you know when something is not compliant. As I just mentioned earlier, doing updates requires systems to go into maintenance mode. So things like HA and DRS will take place to put hosts into maintenance mode, perform the update or perform the patch, and then bring it back online when it sees that everything is done. Again, having all the right permissions means all of this can be done completely automatically. So you don't necessarily have to keep watch over it. You just see the result at the end that it completed successfully, and we move on. Which is great, because it's one less thing to worry about.